Hi guys, this is Lisa Varshine, or Freckle Pickle if you follow me over on Instagram. I am here today to show you what I have done in my 2019 December daily album, which is not very much. But I am showing you where I'm getting started because myself and a couple members of Allie's team are starting the Done by December hashtag, or a project where we kind of get our act together and hopefully get our albums done before we start our 2020 albums. And just to take a quick step back, December Daily is a project that Allie started, and if you want to learn more about it, head over to her blog. 2020 will be my 4th year documenting December, and actually my 4th year memory keeping, and this is probably my favorite project that I do. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you guys. Okay, there's not very much done. We started a massive home renovation in the last part of the year last year, and everything was pretty much chaos during the holiday season. So here we go. Here's my starting point. I have the 6x8 album from Allie, chipboard album. It's got a great star foil pattern on it. I have not even done the book plate yet, which actually that is usually something I would do last, although you know, I don't have all that many finished albums. But here, like in my December Daily 2018 album, this is kind of the format. It's a little template I've created for myself, and I use it for all my memory keeping albums, our family album, the Week in the Life album, and December Daily albums. So I'll be doing that. Over here, may or may not use the star. That was just one of the little confetti pieces, I think, that came from one of the kits. Primarily I'm using Allie's projects. I always get her main kit. A lot of times they generously give that to us on the creative team. And then a lot of products I get when I participate in the product plate classes, which are awesome if you have not checked those out. There are some super talented ladies that work on those classes, along with Allie, who does, you know, amazing work. But here we go. So this is my title page. For the past 3 years, for these past 3 years, I always do my title page as one of a family picture. We get our pictures taken once a year by a professional photographer, and I love these, and I'm so glad. We've been doing that since Ava was born. And these are some of the few pictures that everybo's in, and I'm in, and my husband's in. My husband hates getting his picture taken, so that's how I always start these albums. This is a little reef cutout that I did from some of the artwork included in the digital, I think it was the digital main kit. It's been a while since I looked at some of these products, so I apologize if I forget some details, but please drop a question in the comments, and I can for sure try and give you more specifics if you're really curious. So this is actually part of my wreaths class in December Daily Product Play, and I think it was Product Play 2 or 3. I've been in both 2 and 3, but I think this one is 3. So you can check that out there. And then on the back of the transparency is the reason why that I just set up in Photoshop and then did white journaling on a red circle. And so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna find, but this is pretty typical for me. I take my photos for Instagram. I always take them outside of the page protector because of the glare, and sometimes that means I don't adhere, sometimes that means I don't adhere some of the embellishments I intend to. I get lazy. So that's one of the things I'm gonna have to add to my list. So again, because it was a transparency, I had the opportunity to include 2 family photos. So that's fun. All right, this is 2018. So what I did here is I actually took this calendar out of my 2018 album and stuck it in here in my 2019 album as a reminder that this was something I wanted to do. This is just a file I set up in Photoshop. It was based off an idea I got from Allie, who did a 1-page December calendar with teeny tiny thumbnail pictures. And I thought by expanding it to 2 pages, I could make the thumbnail pictures a little bit larger. So there is a photo, a little image for every day in the month of December. And I love how this turned out, and I definitely want to do it again. So, and obviously that's something you do at the end of the month so that you have all of your pictures at your disposal. So gotta do that. All right, 1st of December, in our house, Chippy, our elf, comes in December, and he always comes December 1st. So this was a note that my daughter Ava wrote for him, and I just took a photo of that and included some journaling. I use a lot of digital elements, especially in December daily. So that's something you're going to see throughout my album. And then this is part of day 1. This is a photo of the 2 kids. Chippy hides. He moves every day. So this was them rushing down the stairs and when they found out where he was hiding. This is actually a Citrus Twist Kits Life Crafted page protector. So they make an album that is a Traveler's Notebook album, which is roughly 4 inches by 8 inches. And so that's what I'm using here. I think sometimes this aspect ratio is a little bit more forgiving or less severe than the 3 by 8, but I actually use both in my album. It's just personal preference. And then this is the last part of day 1. Let's see, Chippy brought a letter from Santa Claus and then a couple more pictures of the little present that Chippy brought for the first day of December. Okay, day 2, this was fun. It's extremely fragile though, so you have to decide whether you want kind of these temperamental pieces in your album. This is a giant 2. This was a digital file from, I think, a stamp that Ali had available last year. And so these are all of the different Christmas books in our collection that I add a few books to every year. So now we have a really nice collection, and it comes out towards the end of November, usually when the tree comes out. And on the flip side, I just have some journaling about how excited I get about the books, how excited they get, and then a cork embellishment from a couple years back. And on the back, I think this is 6 by 8 from the Paisley Press kit. 6 by 8 paper, pattern paper. I'm not sure. Okay, then the 3rd of December, the kiddos took a field trip to the Center of Puppetry Arts, which is here in Atlanta, and every year they do an awesome recreation of Rudolph. And it looks almost exactly like the 1960s claymation. I think it's from the 60s claymation, and they love it. We've gone every year since Ava was probably 2. So Ben got to go this year as part of that class field trip. Usually we just go as a family. So I kind of created my own template here. This is a cut file. I want to say it's from, I'm going to have to look this up, so I apologize. I don't know who did this particular cut file, but I just took a pattern paper. The colors for these pictures were really kind of primary colors for me, and so that's, I believe these are die cuts from a Kelly Perky kit. And so I used some coordinating paper, and then here's a big photo of the 2 of them at that field trip. She was so excited to have him there with her. You will notice, even though I don't have very much done yet, but if you've seen any of my previous spreads, I'm really big on the big photos. I probably overuse them, although it's, you know, my album, so I can use them as much as I want, but I think most people would say I overuse them. All right, so that might be the last of the successive days that I've done. Sometimes I don't put numbers on them, and I'm kind of kicking myself. So this was, we went to see the Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. My husband and I did the movie about Mr. Rogers, and we did a date night. So that's what this little insert is about. And I don't know what day it's from, but I'll have to go back and look through my pictures to figure that out. Okay, this looks like I stuck some of my ideas from product play. Oh, and so this is what I tend to do when I first get any of the kits that I order, or the products that I order for December Daily. Sometimes I will take my favorites out immediately and go ahead and either slip them in a page protector or, you know, put them in my album, just so they don't get lost in my stash, and kind of as a reminder. I don't do foundation pages. I will sometimes have an idea that I go ahead and create ahead of time. There's probably a couple examples in here, but in general, I don't do foundation pages like you would see Allie do. Although I'm contemplating it this year because I think that might be the key to finishing your album in a timely manner. But this is a transparency. I don't think this was last year. This is another piece from my product play class on wreaths. So what you can't see is I've taken the photo that was behind it out. This is a wreath cut file from the same, just different scale as this wreath, and then I laid it out in the Silhouette Design Studio so that it could be hole punched, and in the middle is a transparency where I have included some journaling, and I'm really sorry you can't see that. Let me see if I can pick some pattern paper that might let you see the writing behind it. I don't know if that's any better or worse. It's probably worse. Let's see. No, you can't see it. Well, this is a spread that I have over on my Instagram account if you want to see it, at Freckle Pickle. And then all of my December daily spreads from the past 3 years you can find under the hashtag FP December Daily. This was another piece I created for product play about wreaths, and this was one of the white chipboard huge numbers that Allie had last year. And then I used a what are those called? The little metal things, die cut? I don't know, one of the die cutting machines, and did some wreath in a couple different shades of green. So again, these that I'm mentioning that are a part of product play, you can find process videos and everything for those over in that class. So this is actually December 8th is my husband and my anniversary. So what I did was set this up so that this is a photo of the two of us that I laid out in Photoshop with journaling that fits right here in the bottom circle of the 8, then our little faces, and the top circle. So, and this is another thing you'll see me do a lot, is a full photo. So this would be the size of the page protector, which I think is about 7 inches by 8¼ inches by 8.25 inches. I think that's the measurement I use just to keep it simple. All right, so clearly I've done days 1 through 3, then I skipped to day 8. We don't know what day this is from. I have a feeling that's from day 4. I just didn't put a 4 on it. And then day 9 is this 2-page spread, a photo of the boat parade that they have on the lake behind our house. So we live on a lake, and every December a bunch of the boats get together and they string them up with Christmas lights, and they do a parade around the perimeter of the lake, which is really fun for the kids. And it's hard to see in this video, but this picture is the group of us holding flashlights, and then you can see the cast on the ground from the light. So that was day 9. This is obviously added digitally. And then these were little pockets that came in a set of, I think, 3, and the pocket says Holiday Wonder, and I've got some additional photos from the boat parade that were just fun, that I didn't necessarily want to put in a page, but they're fun to keep with that day. Like I said, and I think I saw that Allie is also, excuse me, offering something very similar this year, another set of those. Okay, so now we're getting really, here's an example of some things that I did that I don't necessarily know what day I want to use them, but I put them together. This is a digital file from In a Creative Bubble. They always have really beautiful Christmas holiday releases. So what I did is, this is printed in on a laser printer on vellum and then run through the Mink. So I don't know, it's hard to see on camera, but I think you can see that that is actually, is it pink or red? It's red. So that's red foil on top of it. And then this is another example of slipping in my favorites. Okay, this was, and there's no date, there's no number on this. I'll have to look that up. So, well, I'll talk about that at the end. We went to, Ava and one of her girlfriends went to a class at the local paper source here for a snow globe class. And part of the class was they built ornaments, snow globe ornaments. And so I took her little snow globe and fused a pocket for it, which I actually need to fuse the top because it looks like the glitter from the snow globe is falling out. Okay, here's another idea. I usually do some version of this every single year in these 4 pocket page protectors, spell out a word. Be it Noel or give, or, you know, all the different 4-letter words available for Christmas. This is such a great photo. This is one of my best friends. They got married in December, and she called me 2 days before they got married and asked me to be their wedding photographer. And then she graciously let me use this photo in my album, knowing that it would be shared with you guys. And she's a super private person, so I'm really thankful that she let me do that, and thankful that I was there with her to do that. So now I've just got page protectors. These are pages from Kelly Perky. She had some beautiful foil pressed cards in her kit. And so these were just different items that I loved. And I have gone ahead and put them in the album so I don't forget about them. I love this messy. And then here's another one that doesn't have a day. But this is, I always include our family holiday card. So this is our holiday card from Minted. And then this little piece, I think from Ellie Studio, has the journaling on the back. That's fun. I don't often do crafty things like that, and I'm so inspired when I see other people do them. So that was my attempt, and I like it. Let's see what else we have. You can tell I have a lot of work ahead of me, don't I? Okay, this is page 22. These are my kids' gingerbread houses. We have a gingerbread house decorating party every year for their friends. And these are the types of fantastic creations they do. You can tell that's Ben's and that's Ava. This was some patterned paper that I wanted to include. This was an experiment that I did. Like, this would be an example of not exactly foundation pages, but sometimes I get an idea and I just want to give it a try before the month actually starts. So this is that same 2 that you see in the holiday book cut out, and I did played with opacity in Photoshop and put them in different layers, and then printed this one separately, ran it through the laser printer, and then again through the Mink. So if you put these on top of each other, it's a really cool effect. I didn't use it, and obviously I already have something in for day 2, but this can easily be applied to any probably single digit number. I don't think it would work for double digits. But you can tell I'm not extraordinarily organized. I love these 3x8 transparencies. If you guys haven't seen the transparencies that are going to be available this year, you have to go check them out. There are so many awesome transparencies, and I'm going to have a really hard time not buying them all. I remember this. This is just again, another idea that I had that didn't necessarily go with a specific day. So I glued everything down but the 4, because when I'm playing with an idea like that and I don't know what day I'm going to use it, I don't want to adhere the 4 because obviously the day might change. So these were pieces from the Paisley Press mini kit. These are the awesome acrylics from Jessica Upton, and I don't remember where that cork 4 is from. And then I think this is also I have to be honest with you, I don't know who does this card. It's gold foil, it's beautiful. I'm not sure. I can check that out if anybody really wants to know. Okay, that's all I have done. And as you can see, that is not very much. Do I think I'm gonna get done before December? Probably not, but I'm gonna try. That's why I'm excited about the done by December hashtag that we're putting together with the creative team, is that I feel like if we're cheering each other on, maybe that's something we can do. And I really, really hope that some of y'all out there who haven't finished your albums will consider joining us. I think tentatively we're looking at Monday post dates for that, you know, posting a new spread or a couple of new spreads every Monday. I'm going to try and do a lot more process videos for December Daily, not just this catch-up album, not just this catch-up album, but also for my actual 2020 album, which I'm doing again in 6x8. That's it. So that's where we're at. As far as completing it, you can see I've got a ton of holes to fill. My typical process is I get a piece of paper. I used to have a bigger, honestly, like this is like the super sticky notepad, and I stick it in my album or stick it on a photo. I go back through my iPhone photos, and I can obviously tell through photos, you know, I do a search on Siri for all my photos in December, and then I can figure out what I did on each day. That is not ideal. That means my journaling will be completely different than had I captured more thoughts and feelings in the moment. In 2016, I actually did a journal maybe it's 2017. I actually did a journal throughout the month, and that was such a great reference to have when I was going back to complete the album a year later. So I would highly recommend, if you're the type of person like me who doesn't finish projects in a timely manner, that you consider doing a journal. And I don't mean, you know, you don't have to buy the December Daily Journal, which is awesome, but you know, anything. I might just do something like this and start sticking these sticky notes on the inside of the cover, and that way they never leave the album. So when you find your album, you have your journal. Maybe do them on Evernote or some of the great apps they have. I know there are some really specific journaling apps that are great. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to my really long-winded video. I'm also probably going to do a walkthrough maybe of this guy. Oh, sorry, knocking things down. I'll probably do a walkthrough of 2018 next up on my channel. If it's done, I don't even remember if it's done. Yeah, but check back, subscribe, let me know if you have questions. Okay, let's do this. Thanks, guys.